Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here. Ah, are you also here to assist with the prisoner? Quite right. I was invited to teach them. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But, alas, they insist on being so primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree? Exactly. Pain is an intimate thing. It should be delivered with a loving and measured hand. But trying to discuss such subtleties with these creatures is simply... Forgive me, but that look in your eyes... Something terrible has happened to you. Do not be ashamed, child. What I see in your eyes, in your soul, is only natural. We've all suffered in these dark times. It is little wonder you bear scars of pain and anguish. Please, let me alleviate this pain. As the Maiden of Pain, the goddess Loviatar teaches us, through penance, administered by my skilled hand. My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise.
Go ahead. I'm sure you're in need of a little penance.
This man is of common stock. Only the poorest of men need settle for the spectacle of their own gore.
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Loviatar and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Face the wall and let us begin, dear one. The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. You want more? As you wish, dear one. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Wonderful. You want more? I'll give it to you. That's it! Welcome the pain. Let it become part of you. I hope that's a promise, dear one. Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I could feel Loviatar's pleasure with every sting of my scourge. I am proud to have served you this penance. You're starting to sound like the goddess herself, dear one. Loviatar herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine. My beautiful, penitent child. You have already enjoyed my ministrations. Do not be greedy. Yes, I must try this technique. Or perhaps this one.
Zane, those eyes.
Again? Do you want to become spider food?
A scrying eye. Better be on our best behavior. Till we're out of sight, that is.
Foul stench of slaughter turns suddenly sweet through the rat's nose. Blood smell. Life smell. Not like the great hollow below, which smells only of death.
Wants to know exactly where those adventurers came from. Seen this mess? Flaming Fist Thuggo took a chunk out me arm last raid out. That last in with it. They were guarding some uppity noble and his friends. Not very well, mind. Drag carried him off. Left the real spoils to us.
I tell you, the scrying eye was looking at me all strange.
Right. What would some drow wizard in Moonrise want to look at you for?
Don't get too comfortable, you horrible sacks of muck. Drow might need us anytime.
They've been comfortable since we've been here. I miss the swamp.
You look like you could kick the ass of half the scrubs in here. Bunch of drunken layabouts. No me, though. I'm hard as they come. And I'm itching for another fight. Good on you, pal. Next raid, I'm gonna spill some guts in her name.
his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
You know Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treats his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as goonless as the rest of them. 'Cause I'm loyal to Maglubiet. 'Cause I ain't having my head turned by some upstart god. Yeah, and I can see by that mark on your hand that you're part of their mob. Bollocks to your absolute, and bollocks to you and all.
Nasty surprise. Caution is warranted here.
Honors you and slays her enemies. She'll fertilize the fields with the dead. Rivers and
I wouldn't dawdle if I were you. I doubt true soul Minthara has much patience left.
to the ground. And they'll know she is absolute. Bloody hell! What? Leave me alone! I didn't mean nothing by it, you idiot. What you staring at? Move along, ugly!
The village to the east. It's abandoned.
Looks that way. But scouts said they heard something moving around out there. Something big.
It's not our concern. Our prey is elsewhere.
Off my arse!
Mistress! It's me, your loyal servant, Caesar. I'm back, and I brought a friend.
How thoughtful. And where did you find this friend?
They was in some rickety druid grove, mostly full of tieflings, but them intruders you're after were hiding out there.
I presume you dealt with my prey and massacred the rest.
Well, the thing about that is, they sort of massacred us. This mug helped me escape, though. I say we stick a few holes in her, show how grateful we are.
You feel a cold hand caress your mind as the drow praises you.
Oh dear. Your prisoner is one of the Absolute's favorites, Caesar. A true soul.
Nah, it can't be. They was in the grove, hanging around with the tieflings.
Undercover, no doubt. Carrying out the Absolute's will. Oh, Caesar, you have made a grave error. And it will be your last. My spiders are hungry, little one. But before they feast, tell me where that grove is. And I may yet spare your life.
It's past the bridge, to the east. Big old gate covered in ivy. Don't hurt me, mistress, please.
I will not hurt you. My spiders will have that pleasure.
No, I mucked up, I'm sorry. But I didn't know who they was. They didn't tell me nothing. I told ya, I was trying to follow orders best I could.
Silence, wretch. And remember, you owe your miserable life to this one.
I won't cause any more trouble. I swears it.
Through sheer luck, that pathetic worm has brought me the information I need. And it seems that the inhabitants of the Grove trust you. We can use that against them. You have a part to play in this slaughter.
Return to the grove. When my raiding party approaches, throw open the gate and signal me.
The fate of the Grove's inhabitants hangs in the balance. Killing the drow here would spare them, but it might be better to face her warband at the Grove itself, on familiar ground. On the other hand, participating in the slaughter as she asks may be the perfect way to earn her trust and access to the cult's inner circle.
Good. Marshalling the goblins is no simple matter, but my warband will be ready to attack by next light. Once we are in position, we will wait for your signal, and then we will break them all.
Gather the raiders. It is
Yes,
time.
your ladyship. We won't let you down.
Whoa, soldier. What did you just do? Listen to me. I'm trusting you. But if you disappoint me, it'll be the last thing you do.
Ignore them, and be happy they didn't throw you to the spiders yet.
Your slob's ready. Come on! True Soul found the next target.
Keep your hands steady, Three.
Stop them! Free me!
Again! Again! Make it squeal again. It's staying right here. The beast came in here with those robbers, killed Dink and Mince too. Boss is thinking of serving it to the wargs. But first, 3 more stones. Make it nice and bloody. Yeah! Hit his head! I want to hear more noises!
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
You're also, yes, of course.
Your mind is full, bursting with ecstasy and terror. Finally, it is coming. You are becoming.
But I want to hear him squeal. 1, that's a true soul you're talking to. Show some respect.
Sorry, Mum. I'll open the cage for you.
Good. Now they die. Time for blood.
to learn the hard way.
Death is but a word away. May it please, Mistra.
One day, I'll catch a break.
covered.
Unleash me.
Best get in and out. Light on my feet.
Got to focus.
Poor fucker. At least things have stayed interesting.
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin. I am aware. I foolishly left it vulnerable to this rabble. There's work to be done. That look in your eyes. I've seen it before. Are you feeling all right? Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? The Mind Flayer's spawn. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? Perhaps. But I wouldn't want to place all my faith in blind luck. It's no coincidence that you found me here, I'll wager. You're after a cure for this parasite. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them. Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles. But I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure. Indeed. After we dealt with the drow that ambushed us, Nettie and I were able to inspect the corpse. And the creature that slithered out of it. I had no idea anyone beyond their ranks was infected. You have my sincere sympathies. I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. I wish I could, but there's still work I've yet to finish. Blood I've yet to spill. I've no right to ask more of you, but if you could help me, I'd be free to join your journey to Moonrise. I cannot allow these butchers to threaten my grove. The natural order must be protected. My thanks. If you prevail, I'll owe you the debt of a lifetime. It's too late to stop things from here. The goblins are already marching on the grove in force. You must get ahead of them. Muster the defenses. Thank you. I know it's a great deal to ask, but the grove is everything to me. Hurry then. I will meet you there. May Sylvanus guide us.
Something good here, I hope. Light on my feet. What's hiding here? Here goes nothing. Decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems. It seems the tunnel collapsed mid-dig and suffocated him. A crooked heart is embroidered on his left shoe. The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed. The corpse regards you lifelessly.
My son Garland did it. If I ever missed him, could look down and remember him. Goblins took my friends, cut them up for the wargs, for meat. goblin, carpenter, father of two. Digging too quickly. Felt tunnel collapsing. Kept going. Better dead than warg meat. Heading to Baldur's Gate. Didn't hear goblin patrol.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Feeling fresh?
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That can't be. You're either an excellent storyteller, or you've experienced something quite exceptional. Tell me, have you noticed any residual psionic malaise since the alleged encounter? That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected.
If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now.
You? Infected by a mind flayer? Huh, ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, dear sweet gods! I mean, yes. I suppose I can. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
What's the story? Looking ahead. On my way.
Hope you're keeping well, friend.
I'd like some time to talk.
Seems like Will and Karlach will play nice from now on. Saves us having to pick sides. The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow. I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons. It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure. It's less difficult than you might imagine when you can't remember life without it. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning. I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? Don't believe the lies the Saloonites tell. What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's nothing to laugh at. Save your questions if that's how you're going to react. No, I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memory suppressed, I can't betray Shah's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed. Fine. What's on your mind? I suppose we'd go our separate ways. Not a slight on your company, of course. Perhaps. Perhaps not. If we do survive, we'll have separate lives to return to. I need to get to Baldur's Gate. There's someone waiting for me there. Someone I have to reach. As soon as possible. Thank you. And you're right. It's a delicate matter. Not something for light conversation. I don't think I've ever had a confidant quite like you. And if I have, I can't remember them.
Well met.
Nothing like a little camp drama to spice up the evening. It's almost a pity things ended so amicably. Seeing those two duke it out would be fun. Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers, if we can convince the right people to talk.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
What's on your mind? The year, 10 Air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. I'll mete out the best ones bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right? guy named Gortash. Politician. Inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job. A good job. With people I liked. Doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints. Gives me energy. Power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today. Soldier? Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that Nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Oh, man. Lucky you. That's the dream. Maybe when this is all done, you can show me where you came from. My family home's long gone, but I'll show you my favorite chow hall in the city, if it's still standing. Soldier? Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. Got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know? I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together.
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Well, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Will. But Karlak's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. and at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlak, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlak meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart. Don't you worry. That ship has long sailed the Styx. But a defiant pup must still pay his price. To wit.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet.
There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo.
Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlak, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
Gods damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings. I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. She could kill me for one, and that's not the worst of it. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mazora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can, I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
There you are, my friend. Oh, that. A scratch. I ran afoul of a bear. He took a little of my blood. I took all of his. You're comparing plonk to vintage wine. You can make merry with either, but they're not the same. But Cazador fed me rats and bugs. And when you're used to drinking from a sewer, even plonk is a marked improvement. It was exactly as appetizing as you'd think. Still, that was the past. I'll never have to grovel for him again. Exactly. I can be better than him. Stronger. More powerful. More... Oh. You meant be kinder. Pet bunnies, that sort of thing. I've no objection to being nice, of course, once I have the power to bend others to my will. Well, yes. You can't look at the world and tell me I'm wrong. Oh, I hope so. A little corruption sounds fun. I spent centuries as the victim of a corrupt man. It was the mind flayers that plucked me away from that. They gave me a gift. The strength to take my own freedom. I'm embracing this power. You should too.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. Not yet, I'm afraid. But my expectations are very, very high.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Will hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. Gobsmacked, really. But grateful. Really grateful. I could learn a thing or two from a man like that. Hopefully we won't turn into mind flayers first.
The Blade of Frontiers in the guise of a devil. I'd remark on the irony, but I'd hate to waste the breath. Still, it took guts to defy that petty patron of his. The Blade's sting is real.
Cursed to put my hands on everything.
Wits and blades always sharp.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Attention!
Yes? What's next, I wonder?
I promised I'd be back. Don't worry. I have things under control. For now. You haven't been using the parasite's power. You think you don't need it. But things haven't gone as you expected. You hoped a druid as powerful as Halsin might be able to remove your tadpole. But he couldn't. You're desperate to be rid of it. Understandable. But you're looking for solutions in the wrong places. Yes. Halsin is correct. Your parasite is unusual. It is wrapped in magic that prevents its removal. Until the source of the tadpole's magic is destroyed, any attempt to remove it will kill you. You were lucky that Halsin knew this. His instincts are right. The parasites are merely a symptom of a greater sickness in Faerun. The absolute aims are not yet clear to me, but its progress towards domination is clear. These parasites are more than illithid spawn. They are vessels for control. The infected hear the voice of the Absolute and believe it to be a god. That is how the cult of the Absolute is spreading. The highest of their rank, the True Souls, carry a tadpole just like yours. It is how they receive their orders. It is what makes them obey. When the order to transform is given, it will not be a matter of days. They will be mind flayers in an instant. Were it not for my protection, so would you. It's complicated, but I'm an adventurer, just like you. Just like you, I was infected with a mind flayer parasite. Just like you, I seek to be free of it. I've been trying to escape from this evil for a long time. Once, I almost succeeded. Now, through you, I've been given a new chance. You can go where I cannot, and I can protect you from that evil. If we work together, we may turn this around. Hells, they need me. I have to go. No, I can handle this. For now. The power I used to protect you, I stole it from someone. They want it back. I will hold them off for as long as I can, but sooner or later I will be worn down. You must discover the source of the magic that controls the parasites before that happens. The cultists are gathering at Moonrise Towers. Use the powers your parasite gives you to convince them you are one of them. And when you find the source of their magic, destroy it. Go. Our freedom depends on it.
I have something to ask.
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle. The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now, don't move.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then, tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend. Tough.
Moving ahead.
Wait! Bows down! Gods above! We took you for a goblin! Get up here! I want that gate sealed before they arrive. And we need to talk!
Keep checking.
Is this or sitting and waiting? It's on the bag. It's all the same to you. You're back. Nice to see a familiar face. I wish I had better, but this is all I have.
There's no time to waste.
May Timora's luck twist your way.